LIFTGATE. We're going to be doing a few wiper changes and then the rear struts on this latch or hatch or whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I already took off the original wiper here. Now, the rear wiper, it's hard to find information on. One, from what I can tell, you can't get the stock rear wiper from anywhere. From what I found out, you have to replace the insert, the rubber insert that goes into the wiper from Toyota. So you have to go to Toyota, order that insert, and then you just replace that. I don't want to I don't want to worry about going to Toyota to get that replacement. And two, I don't like the steel frame wipers. I like the frameless ones. So I want to be able to run that. So I already took it off, and that's pretty, the stock wiper, and that's pretty easy. You just take off these two bolts. So I have an adapter that I believe is going to work. By the way, the stock wiper is 12-inch. I'm going to be running a 13-inch wiper with this adapter. So first I'm going to remove these screws, and then I'm going to show you guys the adapter. They're just two Phillips screws. Once again, this is how you would remove the stock wiper. As for the wiper and adapter, I'll have those linked in the description below. Here's the adapter I found. So this is the adapter. Essentially, it sits here and it replaces the stock setup, and then that way you should be able to run the new style wiper. So this actually provides you with two of them. Two, looks like they're the same size, and they do provide also screws. Just like the stock ones, they're Phillips screws, nothing crazy. As for the wipers, I went with this company, this brand for the rear. It's called Arrow, and I did purchase them on Amazon, once again linked in the description. From what I can tell, or from what I understand, and looks like it is true, so you get two wipers here, but you also get two refills. So these are going to last you for quite some time. Now these are the style I'm looking for, which are the frameless that go over this adapter. So let's see if this works. Okay, so there it is. It's on there. As for how well it sits, I'm not sure. I mean, I believe it's supposed to sit here, but that's obviously not going to work. So let's run it and see what happens. Well, that's working. I mean, honestly, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It works. However, it does look like we might end up needing to use the stock back piece with that, which makes sense why the screws are a little longer, because this is the stopper that would sit here. So let's try that out, see how that works. So don't do what I did. Don't finish this off until this piece is on. I thought due to the way it was set up, this piece wasn't going to fit, but because they provide you with the longer screws, it fits just fine. So that way you can utilize the stopper here, the stock hanger slash stopper, whatever you want to call it. So let's try that one more time, see how it works. And I am happy with that. It does not touch the top, but it does cover most of it. Perfect. So we got a little more area of coverage, and we run a newer style that we don't have to worry about anymore running the older style and going to Toyota. So I'm happy with that. Now that we got that done, while we're back here, I do want to do these rear struts. As you can see, it just kind of falls on its face. They do work a little bit once you get them up here. They kind of start stopping it, but it's still not great to the point where you're definitely going to want to get these replaced. I do have new ones. They are here. Looks like we're going to keep the mounts that are there, and we're just going to take out these 2 retaining bolts and swap that out. And let's see how good these are. I'm going to start with this bottom one. It looks like I already did the other side just to make sure I know what I'm doing before I show you guys. There's a little C-clip here. It's a little bit of a pain to get off when you don't have the right tools. I'm using just a set of needle nose, and that seems to work fairly decently. Once that is done, you are gonna need to tap out this bolt that the C-clip goes through. Just obviously this is not the best way of doing it. Nice, fell in my pocket, my hoodie pocket. There's this little washer that you have to make sure you don't lose, because that will be something that goes there. The top is exactly the same as the bottom. Might be in the shot here, but you guys seen the bottom. I just used the one tip on each side of the, essentially I spread the pliers like that for the C-clip. To put on each end and then push. You're going to want to not lose this, because it can very much once you take it off, it can go anywhere. So I put my hand here, but be careful because you don't want to slam into your hand with the pliers. And then the same thing as the bottom. Actually, this one's significantly looser, didn't have to do that. One bolt is longer than the other one. The top one has the longer bolt, if you're curious. I don't know if these were actually bad. As you can see, this plastic stuff is basically deteriorated. However, I don't know if these were actually bad, because it did hold it up, so there is that. So maybe I'm doing this for nothing, but regardless, I like to do the bottom first. The square goes on the out, or at least following the steps of from what it was when I took it off. The square goes on the outside, or the square of the where the bolt goes through, because the end of the bolt goes on this end for this side. Just how I noticed it worked earlier, or it worked on the other side. You're going to want to make sure you don't connect the top first, just because for this bottom one you do need to mess with it enough to get it through. So that's why you're going to want to do that first. And then to get the C-clip on, I just simply use the tip to get on the edge. There you go. So that one's on. Now to do the top. For the top, the square part's on the inside. I just use the pliers to help me push in the C-clip. Now, that plastic piece not being in there is a little annoying, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I can always take this top off and put that plastic bit in there once I am able to find it, if I'm able to find it. But for now, That'll do the job. Now let's take off this jack handle support. All right. So we know it holds it up, which is good. Pushes it up. Oh yeah. Okay. So it didn't do that before. So it's still at the lowest part, won't go 100%, but as soon as you get it to here, it does it on its own, which it wasn't doing before. So they were somewhat bad, not 100% bad, but worth it. Now I got new ones. I don't have to worry about it. That's done. Let's do the front wipers and we're done. Okay, for the fronts here, I originally ordered this Trico Neoform. I'm thinking that's Trico. I ordered 2 of them, but it looks like there was, I guess, not enough inventory, so they ended up sending me a Rain-X version of this one. I'm running 2 17-inch length, but you can run a 7. I guess these cars can run a 17 and a 16, but from what I found online, apparently you can run a 17 and a 17. So I'm going to go ahead and get that installed on there. I went with the 17 and 17 since you can do it. It kind of makes it easier. But if you want to stick to what originally is on the car, I believe that's going to be 17 and 16. Always make sure to take off this blade cover. I know people have been confused about that. There it is. There's nothing to it. So that is it for this video. Really simple and easy. Mainly I wanted to talk about the rear wiper because that seems to be the most, for some reason, difficult information to get about this car. But outside of that, that's it for this one. Stay tuned because we are going to be doing a few more things on this car. We got to do the timing. While doing the timing, we're obviously going to do the coolant as well, and I do have a new radiator for it along with some hoses, and we also do the valve cover gaskets. So we got a few more things coming out. Make sure to stay tuned to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.